Dawn Michelle, and guess what today is? Drinking with Dawn. We are so excited to be here. It is just amazing because I have Shannon from Whisper. Whisper, Shannon from Whisper. Shannon, how are you?
I'm well, thank you. And Don, I have my drink as well. You can't see it because darn Zoom.
Oh,
Oh,
there
there
it
I
is.
am.
You do have your drink.
I've been drinking 100 ounces of water a day since January 4th. So
Good
if
for
I start
you.
to float away, you know why.
That's we can take a potty break, Shannon. It's all good. It's all good. So tell me about you, Shannon. Tell me about you and how did you find Whisper and all that fun stuff?
I am an Illinois gal. I worked in St. Louis for years, right? And so I heard about Whisper. I had a friend who worked there and see the signs, but really, I didn't know more. I didn't know much about that. I would see the friend post on Facebook about what a great company, the
Hmm.
culture that it had was great, and I always just felt really happy for her and never thought much more about it. But I decided last year, I had a business I was going to sell. And so, April of 2020, I sold my business because what else do you do in the middle of a pandemic?
Yeah.
Right. And so I was going to be semi-retired, right? I was just going to like relax, get myself together. Well, the pandemic said something else. It said, you need to stay home and do some e-learning with your children. So instead of scarring my children for life, being their teacher, I decided to go back to work.
Oh,
And it was two things that are really important for me. I needed to join a team that had some really good culture. And what I mean by that is not that vision statement and the core values that they put on the wall or they put in a handbook and they never come back to it, right? People who live their core values all the time and they make their decisions based on core values. So that was one thing. And the second thing for me was I needed to be part of a corporate team. I wanted to work with like-minded individuals because I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a big thinker. And I love to be challenged and I love just to brainstorm. So I wanted that as well. So sure enough, as looking through jobs, Whisper came up in sales and marketing is kind of my jam. And I had an interview and I heard what they were doing. They won the CAF funding
yeah.
and they were connecting rural America. And my degree's in social work. So my little social worker heart said, I think you found your connection. It's a 10-minute drive to work, first time ever in my career. Check. You don't have to do e-learning with your children. Double check. And you get to help people and bring sales and marketing techniques to a growing company. So, Don, that's why I'm there.
Culture is what Whisper does best without a doubt. And that's because of their leader, Nathan, who
Yes.
has a vision and has had a vision started in his garage. And here we are today. And
Yes.
yeah, when you work with great people, great things happen. And so, but you owned your own business, and how did you start that? Like, how did you build a plan? Like, isn't it overwhelming? Aren't there 5,000 things to do when you start a business?
There is, right? And you can go a million different ways. I was actually, because I have that entrepreneurial spirit and to help people, someone just called me last year and said, hey, I found this opportunity. I thought I'd ask you. And they asked me the same question. And I said, you have to kind of be laser focused on what's your niche. What are you going to do? And can you do it well?
Mhm.
If you can't do it well, don't waste your time. And what I mean well is, do you have the passion, the energy, and do you have that tough skin that
Mhm.
can help you through the pain at first? Because people are going to tell you, you can't do this. You're going to have banks that tell you, I'm not giving you any money. Oh, wait, I'm going to give you money, but you're going to have to give your first kid, your second kid up, put your job on the line, you know? And so really it starts with a business plan. And yeah, you might say like, oh, that sounds overwhelming. No, no, no. I don't mean war and peace on a business plan, but what do you want to accomplish?
Mhm.
And one of the things, I say to people, one of the tools that I like to use with folks when I help them with business planning is, and it's not my technique, it's just the 1-3-5 plan. And the 1-3-5 is one, what is the one thing you want to do? Because if you start looking, at news or at, all these different articles that tell us how to run our business and things like that.
Mhm.
All these things like you need to be better at this and you need to be more efficient at this and you need to do this. Like, what's the one thing you want to do? What is
Mhm.
your one goal? It could be a revenue goal, right?
Mhm.
I want to be at this amount. It
Mhm.
may be growing into an area. For Whisper this year, our goal is to grow into those rural areas, and we have a number of towers we're going to grow. So that is our one, right? And so what's the three things under that you're going to do to ensure that thing gets done? What are the three big buckets of, okay, I got to, if I start in a business, I need to make sure I have a good line of credit, right? So my finance, that's a bucket, right? The second thing is staffing. If I was starting a company, like who am I going to bring in? What can I afford? What can they produce? And is that production going to meet the one, right? The third thing might be marketing, right? Like, how am I going to get my name out? Do I want to is branding important for me, that I just want people to know about me? Or do I need to go down the area and do a little investing like an SEO and AdWord management, because I need a call to action? The way I'm going to hit my one is people call me for sales pretty immediately, right? And so you use that model, and then you have your 5 actions, your individual actions to drive all the way up. But, Don, I think for people is that you have to keep it simple. It's the KISS method, right? Keep it simple, silly, or keep it simple, stupid. That's what I like to say, but it's your show. I'll say silly. But it is I think sometimes we do self-doubt and we put too many things on us. And really, Don, the most important thing about your business is having a good tribe. You need to have someone you trust in accounting. If you're not an accountant and you're doing calculating math like I do, I needed someone I could trust my money with, right? And could say, Shannon, that doesn't make sense. And share your business goals with your finance person so they can go, you're crazy. And we can have a healthy challenge about that, right? Because at the end of it, they might say, you're crazy, but I see it, so let's go, right? If you're not a marketing person, you don't have to have a marketing team. There are plenty of great consultants out there and marketing agencies that can help you. So, Don, really, it's having that tribe and knowing you don't have to do it all.
And I always say, if I have a toothache, I don't go to the chiropractor.
Right.
I go to the dentist, obviously. Surround yourself. Oh, here's my cat. Surround yourself with great people and great things will happen. And you know what I say about the chamber? We're not an expert at anything, but we're an expert in finding experts. So we find those experts. And, the Small Business Development Center in Edwardsville, Illinois, is huge as far as assisting with that business plan. And it makes it not so overwhelming, because when you look at it, you think, oh, I can never do this. And I have my own business as well. So when I did mine, I did one of the blocks every night. So not to overwhelm. You talked a little bit about SEO and you talked about marketing. Tell me about what internet marketing means to you. Because oh my gosh, you talk about overwhelming. I need a PhD in this to figure out what I need to do for my business. How do I figure that out?
Yeah. Well, you have to remember, really, let's be honest, Google is key, right? Like, and when you start to type, right? When you start to type on your keyboard, it starts to predict what you're going to type, right? We all see this. And so what Google's aim is to make sure the end user, us, the person who's typing, is getting their needs met. And so you have to start thinking like the person who's typing. If you are looking, like for me being now in the internet business, if I was something looking for internet, what would I type? What would I be looking for, right? For Whisper, and that people are not going to go in and put Whisper. And they're probably, if they do, they're going to put it with an H, right? Yeah. We made sure that redirects to us, but
I know,
because they're going to put an H, that's common. But for any business, though, is that what would you as the end user want? The second thing is that you can do some things on your own, right? You can use Google Ad Manager, you can run some SEO, you can do those sort of things yourself, because you want to make sure that your page, this is so important for people. If you're running a website that you want people to respond and see, make sure your speed of your page is loading quickly. First off, my first tip, because if it's not loading quickly, people are on to the next, right? You also need to make sure that your page is mobile friendly. We know the majority of consumers are going to their cell phone to find their needs and get their needs met. If you have a clunky page that's not mobile friendly, people are not going to use it. They're going to go on to the next. You need to make it easy. So if I make sure that something's or mobile friendly, I'm going to make my phone number with a touch at the top.
Mhm.
They say that that is a tip. It's not, yes, it's my tip, but I learned it from someone else, right? It's
Mhm.
always sharing knowledge. This is what's
Yeah.
great about, just working together, but that you can touch it and call, because no one really on a cell phone wants to be like, oh, so where are you? What are you doing? Oh, you guys started in 19, blah, blah, blah. No one cares, right?
No.
I want my needs met.
Yeah.
So really is that there's some simple things that you can do. Make sure when you put pictures on your website that they're not too big, like if you're working like in a WordPress or something like that, because it will, again, slow down your page. And Google likes pages that are fast.
Mhm.
They like pages that are relevant. And what I mean by relevant is that, are you keeping up on your content? Are you changing it up? Are you making sure the latest and greatest is out there? So there are a few things that you can do to get yourself started and going. But if you really want to kind of take it to the next level, it would be great there's plenty of marketing agencies out there
Mhm.
that will come and give you some ideas and quotes on running your SEO and your ad
Mhm.
management, so you don't have to worry about it. And you can find some pretty reasonable folks. I'm going to tell you right now, if someone comes out and like rolls this big plan out and all of these dollars, if you're just starting, that's not the person for
Yeah.
you. There's someone out there that's smaller and can start growing with you with the seeds to become the flower, right?
Yeah.
That's where you want to start, because you can start to learn from them too. Some of the things that you
Mhm.
can manage yourself. And as your business grows, who cares? Give it to somebody else, because you're going to be focused on something else that's not, that you're not an SEO expert. And that's okay.
And I say, during the pandemic, one of the things that we did was we use Google My Business a lot, of course,
Hmm.
he does, but not everybody knows about that. So we
Yeah.
would go out and a restaurant would say it was open. We knew it was closed. They had no idea that it was showing there.
Yeah.
So I think learning little niches like that. I always say when you open a business, you should have a really good CPA or accountant. You should have a
Hmm.
really good lawyer. You should have a really good IT person. And I think next, and the IT could be with the web, but I also think a website person, there's nothing that can destroy your business if you don't do a backup and you lose everything or someone gets in. So, there are little things like that, but I would never pretend to be, well, people that know me know I wouldn't be an accountant. I can't manage my own checking account. So, but you find the people, you surround yourself with the tribe. That's going to help you be successful. You don't get where you're at by yourself. You get,
No.
with all the people around you. So as we talk about let's talk about Google My Business because that really is huge. I mean, that's a driver of your SEO.
Hmm. Well, and people have to understand that Google, even though it's kind of king, and it can, if you're not managing your ad management well, it can be expensive, right? And if you don't understand how it influxes, you can spend a fortune and wonder, ooh, that ROI is not there, right? But they want us to succeed, because when we succeed, Google succeeds. So it is just going in and listing your business, right? Through Google Maps and Google Places, right? And you could go in today if you're thinking, oh, I've never heard of this or thought of this, and I'm a business person. Go in and just Google, Google tools for
Mhm.
my business, and you're going to see all kinds of things that are not going to cost you anything. Google will confirm your business for you. Sometimes it's a phone call, sometimes it's a postcard, because what they don't want is a bunch of people putting up shop at places that aren't there. Because
Mhm.
Google wants to make sure the end user experience is legit and it's meaningful and
Mhm.
it's relevant information. So that's what they're going to do. And when you do things like that, though, what you have to keep in mind is that what you're opening up is also Google reviews.
Yeah.
And those can be very important for your business, because we're seeing more people are interested in what other people are thinking. I
Mhm.
mean, go to social media, my word, we all jump over other people's words, right? But that you're opening yourself up to Google reviews. Now,
Mhm.
Google reviews are not something like a trust pilot, right? Where you might be sending it out and it's verified, right?
Mhm.
That they used your service and they can give you that, 3 to 5 star review, right?
Right.
So Google, anyone can come to Google and anyone can leave you a review once you start having your location set up and things like that. Now, that's fine. People may see those. My personal opinion is that good or bad reviews, because anyone can get mad at you for any reason, right? It's okay. And maybe they put a really horrible review out there.
Mhm.
Now, me, when I first started my business and saw this, I was like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? Right? Someone said I was bad. Like,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
needed just that, And so what I started to do was good or bad. I responded to every single one of them, kill them with kindness, because what I had to accept is their feedback, true or not,
Yeah.
could be an opportunity for me to learn, grow, and
Mhm.
make my business stronger. So we have to, that's what I said when you first asked me about being a business owner, about having that tough skin. This is where the tough skin comes in, because you can manage that and manage it to an opportunity that's really going to help you. And
Mhm.
then reviews are great. Like I said, when I started this, is that be in charge of your reviews. Don't wait for someone to send you a nasty gram.
Right.
Invite people to leave good
Mhm.
or bad reviews there.
Mhm.
Give them an opportunity for you to do better. And because people like to see when they Google a business, right? If I was going to a restaurant, am I going to go to a business? Am I going to go to a restaurant that has 2 stars or 5 stars? 5 stars, right? So those things are important. So when you open up yourself for even free tools, it's not
Mhm.
that you set it and forget it. You still need to manage it.
That is correct. I think Amazon probably does it the best as far as reviews and, if it's a product and everybody,
Yeah.
when you read about them. We have a 5, by the way, on Google. Google, we have a 5, 5 out of 5 stars. And then all of a
Awesome.
sudden, some dude comes and does a 1. I realize that he's talking to the wrong state chamber, like he's in Troy, somewhere else. So I simply emailed him and said, I so appreciate this, and I'm sorry they had a situation, and I wonder if you wouldn't mind taking it down. And he did.
Mhm.
It's not always can happen like that. But I absolutely agree you have to manage. The other thing I think people should do is Google themselves. You want to make sure you know what's out there. Like, is there some craziness out there? And, when I Google myself, like I did this, I don't even know what year it was, 2003 or something. I did this in this speech. And there it is, so it doesn't go away. That's the other thing you have to remember is, you need to be your best. So
Always need to be your best. Make sure your
always
social
need to
media
be your best.
profile.
Thank goodness when I was a teenager, they didn't have Facebook. That's all I'm saying right there.
I hear you.
I want to talk about a word that it's my go-to word. I will tell you that I manage my own company and I'm the executive director of the chamber and I have passion for both. Tell me about the word passion. What does that mean to you?
It's funny you mentioned passion. So I, being on my own, right, as the CEO, and then coming as to be the vice president at a company, I have a boss. I actually have 2 bosses, Nathan and Jenny.
Hey.
And every once in a while I think to myself, you're not the boss of me. And I'm like, oh wait, they are. Oops. But anyway, uh, but she asked me just at the new year to journal about my passion.
Mhm,
And my passion really comes down to people.
mhm,
I love my family and I work every day because I have 2 sons. I have a 10-year-old and a 14-year-old. And I work really hard to be the best mom for them that I could be every day. And I want to teach them what hard work looks like. Their father and I mean, what hard work, I
yeah,
can't leave him out, I guess.
yeah,
What hard work looks like, right? Because we understand we are raising men of the future
yeah,
and we need to be strong and able to take care of themselves.
yeah,
But so
absolutely.
we're not taking care of them forever. But my kids like really are my passion and my driving force of being so strong and resilient. But the other thing that really gets me excited in the morning is I love pouring into people. I love managing teams. I love making people the best them that they can be. Now,
Mhm,
my learning lesson with that is sometimes they don't see the best in them. And sometimes I can push a little too hard because they're not ready to see it yet. But in
mhm,
those times I've had that learning lesson, it's interesting that they do come back and say, thank you for believing in me.
mhm,
Maybe it happened that moment when I thought, but even
mhm,
after they left and maybe our paths, went away from each other, we connect better and just said, your words always stuck with me.
mhm.
And that is really important. It's like the customers at WISPER. I was talking with the head of HR, and I said, "Your job and your function is to really help the employees, right?
Mhm.
Your love and your passion. Mine is the customers, right?
Mm,
And my team, I want to lead them and pour them into the best them that they can be, because
mhm,
that just humankind. What else
mhm,
do I know? When they're the best, our customers are going to get the best customer service
mhm.
ever, and we're going to help them. And so that's the other piece, is just helping people. I have a social work background, and that's where it goes. It doesn't matter where I've been in my career. I've always felt like I was helping someone, you know? And so really that's what gets me excited, is really helping people and bringing people together.
I think for me as well, I love connecting people and I love being a resource for people. So, like I said, we're not an expert at anything, but we find all the experts and connecting people. We love that. I love when I can connect members. I can connect. They say, "Do you know?" Oh, yes, we do. I just downloaded my Outlook book, or my Outlook address book, 3,811 people. That's not Facebook. That's people I actually know. I said to my
Yeah.
husband jokingly, when I pass away, you need to sell that and make non-dues revenue for the chamber. And he just rolled his eyes. But those are connections over 20 years that you've made, that at some point you're going to go back and they're going to need you, you're going to need them, but it's that resource. You're building that tribe. I have a female tribe, by the way, and I recommend this for anyone. So 50 women that have the same passion and drive and positivity as I do.
Mhm.
Got to have it. You got to have a tribe to keep you going. And that's that part of it. What I was going to say about the employee is, we don't know what's going on at home. So we
Yeah.
can't expect them to come in and be all, maybe we need to help them with something at home. Maybe they need an EAP, maybe they need something. And so
Mhm.
what you're doing is fantastic. And I'm sure, well, Whisper is very blessed to have you, and they have amazing staff. I can't say amazing enough. Amazing staff with a fantastic leader, big vision. He reads 60 books a year. He's just a great guy. You do have to check out Undercover Director, though, with Nathan, because he is so funny in the video. And I'm going to link it to this recording, because yeah, he's a rock star. He's a great guy. So let's and it's been great. And I feel like we could do another one of these under some leadership, because I feel like
Yeah.
leadership is really your thing. So we'll do another one under leadership. But now we have the quiz. I promised the quiz. I can't believe you didn't get to study, but it's okay, because I think you're going to do fine. All right.
Woo. Okay, here we go.
This or that, steak or chicken?
Steak all the way with some red wine.
Oh, yeah. This or that, country music or rock and roll?
That's tough. I'm very eclectic. So I can go, I have Alexa Auto in my car. And so from my 10-minute drive, I can go from Dolly Parton to Janis Joplin, down to In Vogue, all on the way. So I like them both. But if I had to say it, I'd say rock and roll, because I'm a child of the 70s. I had young parents, so they loved rock and roll. So rock and roll was always a staple in our house growing up.
Mhm. This or that, beach or skiing?
Beach. Bring me the vitamin C all day long. I'm missing it. It's raining here and it's gray. Sometimes at work they call me Sparkle, because I just always say, like, I'm losing my sparkle. And I tell you, Don, if I don't get some sunshine soon, whew, I'm gonna need some sparkle refills.
We'll work on that beach for you.
All right.
And last question, and I hope you get this one right, because if people don't get it right, I accidentally lose the recording. But can you name one Barry Manilow song? Shannon, 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 Shannon. Oh, Nathan, you gotta watch this girl. I don't know if she was a good hire if she doesn't have a Barry song.
Mary
I'm just
Manilow.
kidding. Shannon, I'm a fan of Low, and so that's why I always ask the
Oh,
question.
I know. I
Um,
should have known when we were talking earlier. I should have been like, I should know some Barry Manilow
I have
references.
212 songs on my iPod, and my husband jokes that if I ever lose it, they bring it back.
See,
Because no
here's
one
here's
wants
the
it.
not only I told you when we started, I have the gift for gab. Sometimes I have the gift for like weird humor. And if I would have dug a little deeper, maybe you socially and saw that,
No,
I would have I tell you, next time we meet, I'll know my Barry facts. I promise you that. And maybe even a little song for you. Maybe I can serenade you.
There you go. So I'll give you one. At the Copa, Copa, Copa.
Oh, that's him? Oh yeah, there we go.
See, you knew it. You just didn't know you
I
knew.
know. A lot of times I can't put the songs and the people together. But yeah. Oh yeah. There we
All
go.
good.
That'd be my beach song. There I am.
It's yeah. And thank you so much for your time today. Delightful. And I'm serious about we'll do I think the leadership piece is
Awesome.
something that people they don't know what they don't know, obviously. But I think sometimes they just like you said earlier, they look at it so big, they're overwhelmed and you got to bite it piece by piece. So what I
Bite
might do
size.
is put out if people have questions about leadership and maybe we could do a little Q&A and I can provide you those questions. That would be my cat behind me. So apparently my cat is hungry and that's a priority. So I'm so glad that you're with Whisper. They are very lucky. We are very lucky that you're here today. And I'm going to have all of your information at the bottom of the Drinking with Dawn. And on behalf of the Troy, Maryville, St. Jacob Marine Chamber of Commerce, Shannon, I hope you have a very fun and passion-driven day.
Thank you.
Thank you, Shannon. Take care. Have a good day.
Bye-bye.